Hello students, today I'll start the third part of this chapter, the adventure. We have already studied two parts. In the previous part, we have studied that Professor Gaitonde, he visits Bombay and he thinks about meeting his son who works there in a company. But when he went there, he found that no such person works in the company, and even though the company was same, then he realized that he has been in somewhere lost in a parallel world. So to know about what had happened with him, or to know the reality, he enters a library and he finds material there that was quite interesting and important. He finds something in the Marathi journal or Marathi books, you can say volumes. He finds that there was details given about the result of the third battle of Panipat, in which it was shown that Marathas had won the battle. The Peshwa Vishwas Rao, he had anyhow been successful in escaping and even survived. Okay, so this type of story was there, and then he get out of that library. Now the next point, Gaitonde returns to the real world. This is Professor Gaitonde, okay? So after entering there in the library and getting the information, Gaitonde left the library in the evening, indicating to the librarian that he would come back next morning. After taking meal, he went out for a stroll to Azad Maidan. There was a lecture going on there in Azad Maidan when Gaitonde saw a vacant presidential chair on the stage. He went and sat on it, thinking that it was for him, because in the real world he had been invited for such a seminar. The audience reacted very strongly against Gaitonde's sitting on the chair. The reason was that they were not interested in what the speaker, they were only interested in what the speaker was speaking, and had already abolished the custom of having a chairman long ago. Okay, so the chair was only kept on the platform for a symbol, means it was only symbolic. Gaitonde, he got up and started speaking, but the audience pelted him with tomatoes and eggs, okay, and other objects. But when he didn't stop, even after doing so, the audience swarmed on the stage to remove him, and he was beaten and thrashed very badly. Gaitonde, he disappeared. Being knocked unconscious by the mob, he returned to the real world. Okay, he found himself at the outside of the Azad Maidan with all his clothes torn. Okay, he had no idea what had happened, so he returned to Pune. The next point is Rajendra Deshpande explains what happened happened to Gaitonde. Now, Gaitonde narrated his adventure to Rajendra Deshpande, a mathematician and a scientific expert. Rajendra tried to explain him what had happened by explaining how the catastrophe theory and the lack of determinism in quantum theory applied to his adventure. Gaitonde, he showed Rajendra the two torn off pages of the history books when he entered the library, and torn two pages. Okay, history books from the other world, and it was all about Viswas Rao's escaping death. At first, Rajendra, even he was perplexed by this evidence, but Deshpande explained that there could be many different worlds existing at different point of time. They could all have a different history. Professor Gaitonde had been to another parallel world. The time was present, but its history was quite different. The next point is Gaitonde refuses to chair any more seminar. Now, when Rajendra Deshpande, he suggested and requested that he could recount his adventure at the 1000th seminar which Professor Gaitonde was to preside over after a few days. Gaitonde told that he had already declined the invitation as he did not want to chair any more seminars. Probably he might have remembered the treatment, okay, he had received from the audience in the parallel world where he was pelted with tomatoes and eggs and other articles. When he tried, okay, to chair a seminar there without the interest of the audience. So this is where your chapter ends.